Alright folks, let's dive into the chaos that is Creature Commandos, Episode 5. This show just keeps getting better and darker, doesn't it? In this episode, we get a mix of mystery, action, and emotional gut punches, all tied together with some classic James Gunn humor and storytelling. From Eric Frankenstein's tragic origin to a Clayface showdown, this one has it all. Let's break it down scene by scene, so grab your popcorn and get comfy because we're diving in deep. Professor McPherson's class and the mission begins. We kick things off with a classroom scene that sets the tone for the bizarre yet captivating narrative of this episode. Professor Isla McPherson, voiced brilliantly by Stephanie Beatrice, is delivering a lecture to her students. Her comment about Themyscira being most interesting because of the lesbians might seem like a throwaway line, but it's classic James Gunn, humor with a purpose. It subtly hints at how McPherson might be deflecting from something much bigger. Meanwhile, outside, General Rick Flag Sr. and Eric Frankenstein are watching her every move. The dynamic between Frank Grillo's grizzled general and David Harbour's stoic yet quirky Frankenstein adds a layer of tension and humor to the scene. The stakes? Investigate McPherson and save Ilana, played by Maria Bakalova, who is being framed as a supervillain by none other than Cersei. The deal is clear. Flag helps Eric get to Ilana, and Eric helps Flag with the bride. But as we'll see, nothing about this mission goes smoothly. Bad omens and Eric Frankenstein's tragic past. And then we get to the infamous cat-on-a-leash moment. Eric's reaction is priceless. He insists it's a bad omen, and let's face it, when a stitched-up monster like Eric says something's off, you listen. This seemingly random moment transitions us into a powerful flashback sequence, Eric's origin story. We see Eric wash ashore, battered and lifeless, only to be discovered by an old, blind gypsy woman. This woman nurses him back to health, showing kindness and warmth that he probably hadn't experienced in decades. It's a poignant contrast to Eric's usual gruff demeanor. But the more time he spends with her, the more we sense something darker brewing beneath the surface. These flashbacks not only humanize Eric, but also set up a tragic payoff later in the episode. And hey, before we move on, if you're loving this deep dive, hit that subscribe button below. Trust me, you won't want to miss any of these breakdowns as the season unfolds. Breaking into McPherson's apartment and the Clayface reveal. Back in the present, Flag and Eric decide to break into McPherson's apartment, and this is where things take a sharp turn into horror territory. The apartment is unsettling, to say the least. Cats everywhere, leashes hanging from every corner. And then they find her body, throat slit. Yep, McPherson is dead. But wait, if she's dead, who's been teaching her class? Before they can process this, the real McPherson, or should I say, the imposter, walks in, sits down, and casually powers up an Xbox. But just as you're scratching your head, boom, the imposter morphs into Clayface, the legendary shape-shifting villain. This reveal is both shocking and hilarious, especially when Clayface starts playing Mortal Kombat before sensing the intruders. The ensuing battle is pure chaos. Eric ends up pulling electrical wires, causing an explosion that takes out Clayface in one of the most satisfying action sequences we've seen so far. Commandos turned fugitives. Meanwhile, the rest of the Commandos are dealing with their own set of problems. Thanks to a tip-off from the princess, soldiers are sent to arrest the bride, Weasel, Dr. Phosphorus, and Nina. And let's just say, it doesn't go as planned for the soldiers. The bride, played by the always fierce Indira Varma, leads the charge, and the fight choreography here is brutal. Dr. Phosphorus steals the show with a single punch that literally decapitates Alexei, the lead soldier. The Commandos escape, but now they're officially fugitives, and the princess has declared them enemies of the state. The stakes have never been higher, and this sets up some serious conflicts for the rest of the season. Ending explained. Eric's dark secret and Flag's fate. And then, the episode hits us with not one but two devastating twists. First, we see Rick Flag appear to die in Eric's arms. As Flag slips away, Eric desperately tries to get him to reveal what the bride really thought of him. It's a heartbreaking scene, showcasing Eric's deep-seated need for connection and validation, something he rarely gets as a monster. But the real gut punch comes in the final flashback. We see Eric, after being cared for by the gypsy woman, turn on her in a shocking act of violence. He kills her, brutally. Why? Was it to protect his identity? To escape the fear of being abandoned again? Or is it something darker, more primal? As he leaves, he takes her dog, adding an eerie layer of humanity to an otherwise monstrous act. It's a moment that leaves us questioning Eric's motives and sets up a fascinating character arc for future episodes. So there you have it, folks. Episode 5 of Creature Commandos gave us action, mystery, and heartbreak all wrapped into one incredible story. What did you think of Eric's tragic backstory? Is Rick Flag really gone? And what's next for our fugitive commandos? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And hey, if you're enjoying these deep dives, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We're just getting started with this insane season of Creature Commandos, and you'll want to be here for every twist and turn. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay spooky.